Welcome to your next step up the self-publishing mountain.
I'm Matilda Swift, author of quintessentially British cozy mysteries.
And I'm Samantha Cummings, author of young adult books about magic, myths and monsters.
I've written the books,
Changed their covers,
tweaked their blurbs,
tried tools from a dozen ads courses.
and I'm still not seeing success.
Now, we're working together to plot and plan our way from barely making ends meet to pulling in a living wage.
Join us on our journey where we'll be mastering the pen to snag that paycheck.
Hello and welcome to Pen to Paycheck Authors Podcast. I'm Samantha Cummings, here with my co-host Matilda Swift, and we're here to write our way to financial success. We're two indie authors with over a dozen books between us and still a long way to go towards the quit the day job dream. If that sounds familiar, listen along for our mastery through missteps journey. Each week we cover a topic to help along the way, and this week's topic is our Clifton Strengths. But before we get into that, what are your wins and whinges of the week?
Whoa, it feels like it's been the world's longest week. Like this week has maybe been about a year because I was trying to think, what are my wins and whinges? Have I mentioned these things? No, because they were just a matter of days ago. This past week, I have done just nothing but admin and like all really, really important admin, all really useful admin, but it has just made time feel eternal. Not in a great way, but in a lovely way. I had like a very long, like 2.5 hour session with my accountant talking about turning my sole proprietorship into a limited company and like the steps that I would need to go through for that. And I've kind of been doing a lot of research around that as well. And I've also done things like make a large print book and make a box set and like lots of, I don't know, processes that were just every single one. I underestimated the time it would take, and I thought it would be like I put it in my to-do list like one thing, and it was really 17 things. So yes, I've had one of those weeks. So sort of win, sort of whinge. I've done a lot, and it's all the important stuff, but also, I'm tired. And win. I'm going to the Irish conference, the Irish Self-Publishing Conference. So it's called something like Islands Publishing Show, which I'm sure the name is the most descriptive, because every time I think about it, I forget what exactly the name is. And it's also billed as being on the Wild Atlantic Way, which I don't know where that is. Apparently the other side of Ireland. But I've never been to Ireland before, so I'm very excited about that. And I've never been to a pub. Yeah, people seem to be big fans. Also, I don't know why I've never been because it's so close. It's almost like when I lived in Hong Kong and I went to Taiwan. It's like it's too close. I'll go there one day.
It's too easy. Yeah,
it's like a 1 hour 15-minute flight from Manchester. So yeah, just hop over. Annoyingly, the flight was much faster and much cheaper than going by public transport. I really want to go on the ferry, and it's not an option because it was
it's not. They've hiked the prices up. Yeah, like it's ridiculously expensive now to go on the ferry. It used to be like that was the cheapest way. We used to go to Ireland every single holiday, like school holiday, summer holiday, like every holiday we went to Ireland. And we would go on the ferry because we'd go in the car, and it was like 50 quid to take the car. And now it's like £250 at least. Nightmare.
But anyway, I'm excited to go for that. Yes. I mean, I'm glad there are airplanes. That is positive. So yeah, I'm going to that. Just really looking forward to it. It'd be nice to go to a different conference, and it's smaller. It's a bit more kind of everyone's together in one space. I'm staying at the venue where the conference is, so that's supposed to be kind of a fun, exciting thing. So I'm really looking forward to it. And also, it was actually very cheap. So I'm sharing a room. I'm sharing with Jen, who's been on the podcast before, and the conference itself was not super expensive. You get various meals involved if you're staying in the venue and staying at the conference. So most of the meals are covered, and the flight was cheap. So yeah, really exciting. And I have also, because I'm still working my day job, while I've got some tax to write off, I can be doing that. So big win. But it also feels like, wow, that was just this week as well. I booked that. I've done a lot. And I'm going to become an aunt. That's my big win this week. Not writing related, but that was also news from this week.
Very exciting week.
How about you?
Yeah, I feel the same. Like this week has been like insane. It's just been insane. So at the start of the week, I had to take Juno in. So Juno is my beloved pet / familiar, my soul child, my beagle. And she had to go in to have her teeth cleaned, and we knew that she was going to have teeth removed. And the price that I was quoted was between 300 and 800. Could land anywhere. And I was like, okay, well, fingers crossed, like 500. It was 700. So this week I doled out £700 for her to have teeth removed. Like, I could have taken
That's
her
more
teeth
than I'm
out
paying to go to
myself.
this conference.
Yeah,
Like all
like
in.
I could have taken those out myself. So, and that's just been really like tough because she doesn't know that she can't have crunchy food, and she doesn't know that she's got stitches in her mouth. You know, it's like, and I have to like be her nurse. It's just quite harrowing. So it's been a bit of a rough week. And then my car broke as well the same week, and I've just taken that into the garage, and that's been another good almost £700. So I'm really not having a great not having a great time. Basically wiped out all my savings. Like I can't wait to get paid. It's been one of those like, how can I survive making less money, potentially less money sort of feelings. So I've been going through a lot of emotions. But it's fine. Like I'm okay. The universe is teaching me a lesson. I will, I'm sure, learn the lesson. I don't know what it is. That things break. I don't know. Like sure, I'm sure it'll make sense
Thanks.
soon.
Good lesson.
Yeah, like great. I love it.
Money will come. Like fine, it's fine. Money will come.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, I know where I can get money from, so it's just a case of like dipping into other things. So yeah, it's okay. It's just, I think it's just been a lesson in resilience, maybe. Like, I'm gonna take it
but
as
like
that.
I don't always need that lesson. I think I'm done with that lesson for a while. I don't need a lesson in resilience.
I thought I was done with that lesson, but when it happened again, I realized I wasn't done with the lesson. So it's okay, because I was like, oh, I remember when this happened last time, and like, and I had loads of bills to pay, and I felt like this. So it was like a very much this is what this feels like. So it's a whinge, but I'm going to try and eke a win out of it.
I was going to say, I remember like several years ago, I had a month like that where I had like tons of really big bills coming out at once, and they were bills like I couldn't have been like, more organized or more whatever. There was like a big health thing, and then a dental bill, and just like lots of stuff came at once. And then and I was telling my dad about this, and I was on the phone. I was living in Hong Kong at the time. I was telling my dad about it, and just being like, oh, it's really annoying. Like I'm just like I didn't need this. I didn't need this one extra thing. And he was like, can I just send you £1,000, right? Which is not like an astronomical amount of money at all, but like to me, I was like, yeah, really, please.
Well,
like that would absolutely change my like that felt like such a relief. And like again, I'm really trying more to ask for help these days, and just I'm trying to hold on to that feeling of like, you know what? And it was such a nice favor, and it wasn't a loan, it was a gift, and it just meant so much. And it was so nice to kind of see how you can feel like you're like absolutely underwater, and it's just being able to get a bit of help from somewhere can make you feel 100% different. That was a really nice lesson to learn, like at that stage.
I asked for help. I never asked for help, and I did. My dad texted me when Juno went into her teeth and said, "Do you want me to pay the vet bill?" And I was like, "No, it's fine. I can handle this bill." Like and also like I've clowned it, so it's like the vet bill's okay. I'm paying over installments, so I was like, "No, it's fine. Don't worry about it." When the car bill came, I texted my dad and said, "Can you pay for this, and I'll pay you back in installments or whatever, because this is going to really hit me hard." No reply. I think
just message again. You have to call.
I know. It's like he's probably just like, he's probably read it, or like he's like me. You send a message and people think I send the message and throw my phone away.
Yeah,
because
I think
I just ghost. Yeah, like I completely ghost people.
And it'd be like a really important detailed message, like you read it, and
I
now
know,
what?
and then I have dropped my phone down a well. So I think he's probably just done that. That's where I get it from. So yeah, I'll be seeing him in a couple of days. So he might. I'm not. I'm not. I tend to not ask for any financial help from my parents. So I will accept financial help from them if they want to.
Yeah,
but I'm
okay.
The thing is, the lesson
can make
is
such a
though,
difference when you're in like
I'm
a real.
Okay. Yeah, like I get paid next week, and I don't have like, unless something else happens. Fingers crossed, touch wood, nothing happens. I'm okay. It's just like, it was just a kind of a gasp. Like, oh God, so much money. I've just paid out so much money. So it's okay. Like, I'm positive that I can survive this and stand on my own 2 feet. My wins of the week, because might as well like ignore all that stuff. Yeah, I have, because I have also been like, I've had some great editing days, and I'm really like loving my editing, and I've got some great book covers for my A/B testing. Like I'm just tweaking them a little bit, but I've had some great covers made.
They're
And
so good.
they're so good.
Unbelievably good.
Like the point where I'm like, even it doesn't matter which one gets picked by like which one's most popular. I'm using them both in some way. So maybe one's going to be Kindle, one's going to be paperback. I don't know, but they're getting used. And I've also released like the first chapter for free for email subscribers. And
I read it, and it's so good.
I like it.
I thought, like, to be polite, I'll read a few pages, right? Like, I'll be like, oh, you sent this out today, I'll read the first few pages. Hooked, absolutely hooked. And it read so smoothly. Like, I was absolutely in the world. I was in the voice. It worked really well in first person.
Yes,
loved it.
Yeah, that's been like, I think I caught one thing where I thought, oh, I think I've missed that. Like it's gone back to third person. But either way, I read it back myself and I thought, did I write this? Like I've already forgotten. I've already forgotten what I've written, which is a nice feeling. I like that about my brain. Like, well done, brain. I also, what else? Like I have had other things going where like my pre-orders are up. Yeah, things just feel like they're building in a nice way. So far, I don't feel overwhelmed. I just feel whelmed.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I was like, it feels like everything's building, right? Like even the good and the bad, it feels like things are getting bigger, which is very Act 2, right? We're trying to think of our kind of publishing journeys in Act. This feels very Act 2-ish.
I'm 100% Act 2. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
It's like
I think I'm feeling Act 2 in a different way. Like I'm really trying to juggle lots of big things, and it's going okay. But it just feels like, gosh, everything's a little bit more time consuming and tougher, and just everything feels like I'm sort of churning milk into butter with my legs.
Yeah.
Which is
I
fine.
feel that.
Yeah. But again, it feels like everything's getting bigger, and I am looking forward to the day when I am not having to do this and also do my day job. But it does, it's getting there. Yes. So lots of exciting things coming. And we are talking about a very exciting topic today. So Sam has finally joined the Clifton Strengths cult, which many people are a member of. So it's a great time to talk about how we make our publishing businesses work for us as individuals. So firstly, let's share our top 5 and how those resonate with us.
Okay. My top 5 are developer, positivity. Can you tell? I'm forever trying to spin something into a positive thing. Intellection, futuristic, and individualization. So I'll go through like the brief descriptions of what those are, because they're just like random words without the descriptions. So for developer,
and just in case anyone doesn't know, by the way, we talk about this often. Clifton Strengths is a Gallup test. You can do it online. It's like $50 to do. Becca Syme, who's a strengths coach, she does a lot of courses around this, so she talks about it often. So if you want to know more about it, look for anything from Becca Syme or go on the Gallup website. But it lists 34 personality traits. We talked about this last week. 34 personality traits, it ranks them all for you depending on whatever you answer to a certain quiz. So Sam's giving her top 5, but they are, as she said, sort of nonsense words that could mean many things. Developer, who knows? So tell us about them.
Yeah, it's not a web developer, even though like I often dabble. So developer, you recognize and cultivate the potential in others. You spot the signs of each small improvement and derive satisfaction from evidence of progress. So that's 100% me. I do love finding other people's strengths and helping them hone them into something else. And I do that for myself as well, which is, I think, a benefit. Is that I see my own potential. That's why I'm so like just throw myself to the wolves every single day, it feels. But it's because I know that there's like something good. My futuristic will come into this. Like I know what the future holds. So positivity is the other one. You have a contagious enthusiasm. You are upbeat and can get others excited about what they are going to do. Again, I am the cheerleader.
Yeah, can never be me.
Upbeat, I am the most
Mine is
positive
24 in positivity out of 34.
Yeah, number 2 for me. And yeah, that one is very apt. I am the most positive person I know, honestly. But Someone's got to be. Intellection is number 3. It says you are characterized by your intellectual activity. You are introspective and appreciate intellectual discussions. Now, you wouldn't think it because I do act like a dum-dum a lot of the time. But
I would think it because we've got a podcast together. This is all we do.
Yeah, but even on the podcast, I act like a dum-dum. And that's fine because that's just my fun Gemini side. But I do love talking. I love talking so much, and I love introspection and all that stuff. Futuristic, which I think you have. Do you have that in your top 5?
Yes. I've got intellectual at number 6 and futuristic is number 3. That's the only kind of points of overlap we have, I think.
So futuristic is you are inspired by the future and what could be. You energize others with your visions of the future. Which is an important one, I think.
Which is us. I think that's why we've got a podcast.
Yeah, I think so. And my number 5 is individualization. I hate that word. That word feels like the wrong word. Too many letters.
Very American.
It's way too many letters. You are intrigued with the unique qualities of each person. You have a gift for figuring out how different people can work together productively. Yeah, that's the word. Very true.
Those are quite similar strengths.
They are very similar.
Really
they're very much like, I'm very much looking at every single person and judging them. That's what it is. Like this person judges everyone and puts them into a box in some way. And I guess that's probably true. I do like to categorize people. And I love like armchair psychology. That's my whole shtick. I can read people like nobody else. I really feel like I've got it down. I can look at somebody and know exactly who they are. Which, like, maybe people wouldn't like me to, like, wouldn't assume or wouldn't like to think that I could. But I really do think that I'm great at figuring people out.
And so then you feel like your top 5 is very correct, very accurate?
I do feel like, my top 5 is very correct, very accurate, like, alarmingly so. When you think the questions that you're answering, and it's just normal questions. Like, it's not anything that you've never done before. If you've ever done a personality test. It's the same questions. Like on a scale of 1 to 5, how far, like how much do you agree with the fact that you are somebody who thinks about the future? You know, like, it's just, but you have to, you're answering them like knee-jerk reaction, answer as quick as possible, and they just kind of come.
And they ask the same thing in many different ways, like
and it
different
does.
Aspects of
yes, it asks the same questions but slightly different wording, and somehow it nails you. And I don't
How did you feel when you saw yours? Because you are one of the last people on earth to do it.
Yeah, I am. Yes, I was the very last person onto the ark. At first, I thought that all of my traits were not business related, or they weren't the sorts of traits that like a good business person would have. But I don't agree with that.
Are you thinking like, you know, like Zuck, like your mortal enemy? Are you thinking like Mark Zuckerberg?
Oh, no.
As like business
Mark
person?
Zuckerberg, yeah, could you imagine? I'd love to know Mark Zuckerberg. No, I mean, just in general, those top 5 don't feel like the sort of top 5 that lend themselves to running your own business. Because a lot of the others on the list are like they're all categorized. So you've got executing traits. Yeah. Executing. I don't know why I read things wrong. Well, I do. I'm dyslexic. So, influencing is another one. Relationship building and strategic thinking. So I guess because a lot of mine are, mostly relationship building, it doesn't seem like that they're the qualities that you need to run a self-publishing business. But that's just like because I was tuning into the wrong aspects of it. And I think that actually my top 5 are very beneficial to running my own business because I'm like very positive and I like to to connect with people and to dream big and work towards dreams and things. So I do feel like it's actually beneficial. It's just not the same kind of business that other people run. Like I'm not savvy in the ways that I feel like are better at certain types of business. I don't like I'm like
I know what you mean. There's definitely like a sense of like you've got like this secret sort of like laser sharp focus, you know, if you're successful in your business. But like you watch people who go on The Apprentice, right, and Dragon's Den. Those are very, and obviously that's a certain sort of person, right, who wants to be on TV as well.
Yeah. It's
super light.
that's like
But
the
like,
worst thing I've ever seen. And I watch
but I
it
think
every
there
week.
is a lot to say about like entrepreneurship, which is to do with like being positive and like it's a lot about
Mm-hmm.
your ability to kind of just push yourself and be
Mm-hmm.
enthusiastic more than your
Yeah.
ability to be organized. I think actually
Yeah.
it's lots of strengths that like I'm going to talk about, like they make me a good employee, but they wouldn't necessarily make me a good business asset, because like my very bottom strength, and we can talk about bottom strengths a bit, but like my very, very
Mm-hmm.
bottom strength is adaptability, which is like, can you roll with the punches? Like, no, don't punch me. I won't roll. I will cry.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
And it's like, that is what you want to be an entrepreneur, at least in my mind. So like, I think we all have this like really
Mm-hmm.
specific idea of like, what do I think an entrepreneur is? And really
Yes.
that is what a self-publisher is. But also you're the person doing the creative side and you're the person doing the marketing. So there's so many
Yeah.
parts of the job that like no one's going to have the perfect combination of strengths
Mm-hmm.
to do all aspects to it. I
Yeah.
think also a lot of people who talk about this a lot and who make podcasts have a very particular strength profile, and that's what drives them to be the sort of person that talks about it a lot. And so that then seems like that must be the correct strength profile.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I have got a very different strength profile to you, but it's very similar to like Joanna Penn and Sasha Black, and you might think, oh, that is the strength profile of someone who like is a successful author, but like that's the strength profile of someone who has a podcast and talks
Mm-hmm.
about Clifton Strengths a lot. Um, yeah, and so I think it would be interesting to once you know your strengths, it's interesting to like find people who are like you and figure out where they are
Mm-hmm.
and like how they make their success.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I have plugged in my results into Gemini, of course.
Yeah,
And
I've Gemini myself, so
yeah,
yeah.
and I was like, oh, Gemini, like these are my top 5 Clifton Strengths. What do you think this means for my writing career as a young adult writer? And Gemini was like,
Mm,
well, guess what? They're the best ones to have if you're a young adult writer, because you like to kind of discover this like character stories, and you know, it's like very like in terms of my creativity and the way that I approach things and the fact that I'm writing young adult, like it makes
mm.
so much sense. Like I could write another genre, but it wouldn't gel, I don't think, as well with my Clifton Strengths. I
Yeah,
love
that is
writing
interesting
teen
because I think mine really matched
characters.
to my strengths as well. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun to see that. Like at least I'm doing that part right. I'm doing the right thing. I'm in the right zone. So now I
Mm.
get to look at the rest of the strengths, or like my weaker strengths, and figure out like how they fit in, or like what I can build on, or you know, all that fun stuff.
Hmm.
So now that I've just garbled on for about an hour, do you want to tell us your top 5?
Yeah, so mine are all from the like green and purple strengths.
Mm-hmm.
So that is from like the very opposite end of Sam's. I don't have really any relationship building strength. My first relationship building strength is like 11. So nothing in the top 10. And yeah, I've got one influencing strength, and influencing is like how you affect others in my top 10, and
Mm-hmm.
that's competition, which I think is the least friendly influencing strength.
Competition for me is 29.
Crikey. Yeah, it's not
Which
my
is
number
weird because
8.
I'm very competitive, but I'm very competitive in games, but in life,
Mm,
not so much. Like I don't see the point of competition in life. But play me at Mario Kart
mm,
and I destroy you.
yeah.
And basically any game. But life,
Any game from like the mid 90s.
yeah, of course, yeah.
So my top 5, I think mine actually, they feel like they fit very close together. Like some of them almost feel like they're repetition of each other.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got input, achiever, futuristic, learner, and focus. And it does feel a bit like someone's just designed like a robot in a lab. And sometimes I feel like I should be better than I am if I've got all these like, very laser focused. Like I feel like a Terminator set of
Mm-hmm.
profile of strengths. It's like, well, what am I doing being so distracted and lazy? But I've got other strengths that maybe, and I'm also a human being. So
Yeah.
yeah, input and learner, they both to me sounded really similar, but actually I read a bit up on them. Becca Syme has a set of videos about all the strengths where she
Mm-hmm.
got authors in to talk about each one. And in fact, I'll make a note because I'll put a link into that. And it was really helpful to kind of hear her talk about the difference between input and learner, because both of them, they're basically to do with you want to get lots of information, which I do feel like just describes me perfectly. It's like all I want to do all the time is finding out more information.
Yeah.
But input can be about like, it's about accumulating anything, and it can be even like accumulating relationships. It might be people who physically actually have lots of collections, which
Mm-hmm.
I don't, but I love like learning about anything. You can
You
like drop
do
me in a Wikipedia
collect
page.
data. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
so good at researching and like just yeah, like the way that you use AI tools
Hmm.
for research, I think is like
Mm,
next level. You are so good at knowing what you're looking for and how to put it into order, and
hmm.
like you're so good at collating information and remembering it as well. Like you've got such a good memory for like everything that you take in, and I think that's a
It's very
fantastic
well. It's interesting.
strength.
It's very transient. For like my day-to-day data memory. Like I'm very good at learning on a short. Like I test very well because I'm very good
Hmm.
at being like I can learn all the things. We were talking last night actually about becoming a physiotherapist, which is because a friend of mine is thinking about becoming a physiotherapist. And I was talking at dinner, and my stepmom was saying, "Oh, it's really hard because one of her friends is trained to be a physiotherapist." And I was like, I'd hop straight in. I'd find it so easy and fun. Then
I'm
I could
sure
transfer
you'd
because
be
my own,
fine. Yeah.
yeah, my undergrad is in biology. So I was like, actually, I could retrain really easily because I could just hop from that into like a short course. And she's like, oh, it's really hard because you have to like memorize every nerve and tendon and muscle in the body. I was like, you just described my superpower. I could do that
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Give
without
me
breaking a
give me an
sweat.
hour.
Yeah, give me a copy of Grey's Anatomy and I'll become a
Yeah.
physiotherapist by the next day. So yes, it can be uh, a weakness. So this is part of what I was using Gemini for, is like to be really aware of like where my strengths might pull me down.
Hmm.
Because input, you like to collect tons of information, and really you feel uncomfortable and dissatisfied if you're not taking enough information in. And because of my number one, if I'm just writing a lot, I will hit a stage where I just cannot write because I don't have enough data going in. I just feel like I have drained my battery. And even though I'm not putting the things that I learned into my books, there's something to do with like the balance of in and out that has to be kind of carefully calibrated. But also as an input person, you're looking to learn lots of information, and you're looking to do it in order to be helpful. So like I love learning stuff, and I'm like such a pusher for podcasts, and was like, oh, here, I've got the perfect episode for you. Listen to this podcast, read this book, look at this
Hmm.
article.
Yeah.
I feel like I have to work very hard to spread that outflow of information carefully. Otherwise, I would just be dumping onto one person. And it's the same for the learner strength. Like you're someone who enjoys teaching. But the difference between input and learner is input just wants a lot of knowledge, like really, really broad types of knowledge, and learner wants to go deep on things. And I
Hmm.
do think both of those really describe me. So useful. And I also think they really fit my type of mystery writing. So I always have lots and lots of different threads going on, and lots of like local myths, different traditions, interesting like etymology in there.
Yes.
Because I love
Very
learning that and putting it in.
complex. Yeah. I love that. Like you do such a good job of weaving in all of these things that make your worlds like just really complex, like really rich,
Mm,
and you know that around every corner there's a new clue or something
mm.
else. It's like a wink or a nod to something.
Which is interesting, and like I don't think I would ever write fantasy, because I like learning about like real things and outputting them,
Oh
because I've
yeah.
always thought like, oh, I love like world building really, but like world building in
Hmm.
the real world, why would I not want to write like fantasy or sci-fi? And it's because
Hmm.
part of it for me is finding a way to make use of all the information that I take in, and then putting that somewhere in an orderly and interesting way. So yes, I
Mm.
think those two definitely describe me. So yeah, I've got input number one and learn number four, and then I've got number two is achiever, which is where you, again, I mean, excellent strength, well done me, is where you find like working hard satisfying. It's like great.
Yeah.
I should if we're gonna could like make more of that strength. But I find work satisfying, and in fact part of what I am feeling dissatisfied about in my day job at the moment is like it's there's nothing I'm not working hard towards anything, because I've been at the same company for a long time. All I'm doing is just like being a repository of information and help for other people. And it's like, oh, but I want to be making something. I want to be doing something. I want to be
Hmm.
like achieving something. And I feel like I'm not in my day job, but I could be in my writing. Um, so yeah, I felt a bit called out. It was like, if for achiever types, we'll have lots of lists and goal setting. It's like, yes, I wrote that in my book of lists.
Yes. Yeah. It's funny because my achiever is like, what did I say? It was 31. And this is the one where I didn't really agree, because I thought, like,
Yeah.
I am actually somebody who is very driven and love writing lists and like achieving goals. Like my post-it wall surely shows this. So I don't really know what I answered. Maybe they just understood my fickle nature and they were like, no, Sam, you're a flake. But they haven't seen my Wordle and my Duolingo streak.
You know what's interesting is like I don't have any streaks. I never maintain streaks on those things. I always think that's been motivating for me, and it isn't. And I think because those things are intrinsically meaningless, right? Like there's nothing.
Shush.
I know, and like I really enjoy Duolingo and Wordle, but if I drop a day, it turns out I don't care and I don't continue. And I think there's something about Achiever where you have to be setting almost like an enormous, impossible goal for
Yeah.
yourself, and then like something there that really resonated with me was like you don't really celebrate goals because you knew you would do it. And I've got a friend who is in one of my writing groups, and quite often when I see her, we go to a retreat every year, and I often see her go to her house. She'll be like, oh, what have you been up to recently? I'm like, oh, I just finished a book, I published a book. She'll be like, oh my god, you must feel great. No, like I decided to do a thing and I did it. Like that doesn't feel great, that's just normal.
Yeah.
And that was really interesting to see that of just like, yes, that is how I think about things. If I decide to do something, there's no situation where I'm not going to do it, so why would that feel fantastic? And that is partly why at the moment actually I'm concealing the date at which I'm leaving my job, because I want it to be like a reveal, because I've decided to do it and I'm going to do it, so there's nothing exciting in that in itself, but I want like the date reveal to be the celebration.
Yeah.
Because
yes,
I'm going to do it. So but yeah, and there's for that one I think apparently a real danger of burnout, and I've also got the focus strength, which has got a danger of burnout as well, so useful to think about that and kind of make sure I'm planning around that and not letting myself just be like work harder. And I really struggle with thinking about my year plans, because I only really can work when I've got like a big deadline and I'm sort of facing a giant mountain. And so then I have to like contrive that for myself, because I've got plenty of time. I'm a fast writer. I could be doing more really, but if I did more, I would burn out. So I have to almost leave myself enough time to procrastinate, because that procrastination is my rest, which I'm aware is not healthy, and I'm working on that separately.
Yeah.
But like I have to deliberately not schedule as much as I could do, because otherwise I would burn out, and I would not stop myself before burning out, because I set those dates, so I must do it. Yeah, so that is, it's useful to really like think about that and be careful of that. And my next one is the same one that you have, which is futuristic, which is about, again, is another one where like I'm not really celebrating my goals because I am living in the future.
Yes.
Like again, like I've got an idea of where I'm going to be, and it's almost the opposite. Like I'm almost just dissatisfied with like where I am now, but I know where I'm going to be, and what am I doing here?
I've been feeling that all this week, and like really strongly today, is that like I already know where I'm going. So like the fact that I'm just here is just really demotivating, because it's like, why, like what's going on? Why am I being held back? I need to be let free into this future that I've envisioned. Like I know what it looks like, I know what it smells like, I need to be there.
And you could like, it's like you're the six-figure author self thinking like, gosh, remember when I had to like worry about that vet bill? That was really disappointing. But you're actually in that moment worrying about the vet bill. I had the same last month where I had like a ludicrous surprise dentist bill, which was like from nothing, and just that, wasn't necessary. It was, but like, ugh. I was like, why am I here being annoyed by that when I'm a millionaire in the future?
Yeah, I know. Like, and also because I've just finished reading the Hawthorne
the Inheritance Game series.
Yeah, the Inheritance Game series. So it's like, I can see myself being a billionaire. Thanks very much.
Yeah. Why don't someone leave me $46 billion?
Yeah. I could have a house that has loads of puzzles in it and like trapdoors and secret passageways. So why isn't that here right now? If I can imagine
and I
it,
think
this
I
is my
really enjoy it a
problem.
lot more than the main character in that book. Like,
oh gosh, she didn't enjoy
she's
it
a bit
half as much.
Yeah.
But went to the bowling alley twice? Every day. This is me with my streaks. Every day. The having such a really good imagination and being able to envision a future is it's crazy to think. Like, I really do believe if I can imagine it, then it's real. But I'm waiting.
Yeah, here I am just in the present. So I've already talked about learner, and then my last one in my top 5 is focus, which is about like taking a direction and just following it and just like staying on track and doing it, which is really good. And I think all these strengths, it's really nice to kind of have it reinforced that like I have all the skills I need. I have all the skills that I need to be successful. If I
Yeah.
were going to pick strengths, if I could choose my own strengths, those would be the one I would choose. So I need to be more, I don't know, positive and like feeling like it's definitely going to be successful. When I was talking to Gemini about these, because one thing that I find really satisfying is that you can find a lot of information about each strength individually, but you can see that like both of us have kind of a cluster of strengths that belong well together.
Yes.
So I was asking Gemini, like, how can I use these together and how can I be aware of dangers that might come from them being together? And yeah, and it was useful, and it talks about kind of pairs of strengths. And I was also asking it specifically about in terms of my writing business and my writing, and it was able to give me, it pulled out a full table of like these two strengths together will do this for you. Be aware that these three strengths together will risk this, for example, burnout. And that was really helpful to digest it. So I gave it my full 34 report and asked it about that, and I also asked it to look into things that Becca's said online. So it
Yeah.
was so helpful as like a way to process it. But I did that after I'd watched the strengths videos in top five. And I
Yeah.
also asked it to look at my bottom strengths and kind of give me some information about what I might really struggle with in a business, or like need to kind of be aware of that I'm not strong in a way that might impact my business. And because all my bottom strengths are blue strengths, so they're like relationship building strengths. They're ones that I'd never even heard of. 27 harmony, don't even know what that one is.
Harmony? What?
Yeah, you
Where
literally
does that one come under?
it's a relationship building one.
Oh,
So
yeah.
mine's 27. It's about
Oh.
like you don't enjoy conflict, but I do enjoy conflict, so
Oh, I
I'm
do
here for it.
not. That's the number 26 for me, Harmony.
But what if
Yeah.
people are wrong and you need to tell them?
I
I
don't
don't
care
enjoy
if people are
conflict.
wrong.
Oh
Yeah,
well.
I don't. Yeah, if other people are wrong, I don't care. I just like let them get on with it. That's why that's 26. Whatever. You do you.
But yeah, there's like I've got like harmony, belief, connectedness at the bottom. I've never heard of these strengths.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're interestingly. So
Belief.
we've both got futuristic in top five. In my
Hmm.
bottom three are the two other time-based strengths. So futuristic is about the future, obviously. Adaptability is about your ability to like stay in the moment and adapt to what's happening right now. And context is your ability to like use your past to learn from it and kind of use that to impact your present. And I don't have either of those strengths. I'm only focusing on the future, which I think can lead that feeling of satisfaction in the moment. Like you're always looking ahead and you're not really appreciating what you've done to get here and where you are right now. So I want to be quite conscious of that and not always feel dissatisfied.
Yeah.
What are your bottom
just,
ones?
I'm just having a look at my bottom now. Tell me the numbers of the bottom ones. How many are there in a total?
There's 34.
35?
Right at the bottom of
34.
the list,
Okay.
there should be like
Right. Yes.
on last page. Yeah.
My bottom one is context.
Yeah. That's like the past one.
Which is like somebody who looks to the past. And
Yeah.
I agree. I don't. Once the day is gone, the day is gone.
It's up
I
to me.
don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm just like, I'm now I'm the future. I'm never the past.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why like a lot of things don't bother me. Like I'm not somebody who
Mm-hmm.
dwells on things. I'm just like, well, that's done. So I agree with that. I don't. And maybe like I don't know if that's a good thing to have that in your bottom ones, but yeah, I'm like,
I think it's
whatever.
good to be aware of
Past is
it.
the
Like, good to
past.
be aware that, like, maybe you're going to repeat the same things. Like, I feel like I learn the same lesson again and again.
I do, yes, I do learn the same lesson again and again, but I'm okay with that. I am a slow learner, and I don't mind repeating lessons. I accept that about myself. It's fine. Let's have a look at what was 33 for me. 33 is woo. Woo stands for winning others over. You enjoy the challenge of meeting new people and getting them to like you.
No, mine's number 30. I think maybe a lot of authors have like these. Are you a friendly, like chit-chatty person?
It's funny because I'm a friendly. This is like a really weird quality that I have. I love talking to strangers. If I don't think I'll ever see them again, put me in a coffee shop, at a train station, in an airport. I'll talk to anybody. I'll just talk to somebody and think I'm never going to see you again. But if I think that person that I'm talking to is like somebody that I'm going to see again, or even somebody that I vaguely know, I don't want, and I don't want it.
I'm exactly the same, and I didn't realize it until my best friend was saying, like, you're constantly talking to people in shops. I was like, I'm never doing that. I don't like talking to strangers.
I
Yeah.
love talking to people in shops. Oh my god! Do you know my favorite place to go? Lush.
They
I
are chatty
love
folk in there.
I love going into Lush. That's one of my favourite places. And I'll walk into Lush and I'll wait for them to come over to me because I think I'm the
They'll give you a whole
person
life
that you
story.
are. Yeah,
Yeah.
you've been waiting for me and I'm here. Let's go. Yeah, I love it. But yeah, nobody else. Just strangers that you're never going to see. 32, analytical.
Oh,
Yeah,
I've never seen that one.
that's very low for me. Analytical.
Well, mine's number 9.
Says
I don't want to never seen it. I've seen it.
yeah. Your analytical theme challenges others. Prove it. Show me what you're claiming is true. So, for you, this is blah 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 blah. You didn't necessarily
For
want to
me, it
destroy
says
other
like they
people's
might have
ideas.
the ability to think about all the factors that affect the situation,
Hmm.
which I do feel like I do a lot of overthinking.
I like to. This is again like I do agree with this one. I love to look at things and like understand them, but I'm like a very surface level, like I just like scrape the top of stuff and move on. I'm a jack of all trades, master of none. For my whole life I've been that. Like I just like I'm not interested in really going too deep into anything. I don't want to analyze anything. I just want to take things at face value and move on. So that's okay.
I think what's interesting about a lot of these things, like we are so opposite, and I
yeah,
think that says that like really what you should do is find someone that's the opposite to you, because that's why we
yeah.
work so well together. If we were just too similar, like I find I often when I meet someone similar to me, like I have a real dislike of them in a way that
Yes,
like
me too.
oh
Yeah. And
in
I
a way that I don't
know
feel great about.
yeah, I know I definitely know that about myself. I have known like at least 2 people in my life that I can think of where I didn't like them. We were friends, but there was always like I kind of have this weird feeling, and I know it's because we're so similar. Even if other people don't see it, I see myself in them, and it annoys me. And like one of these people, I'm still very like I'm friends with, and we have dinner like every few months and stuff. So I see her a lot, and I do like her. But when we're apart, I'm like, oh, she really annoys me, and like, it's because I'm like I see myself in her, and
Yeah,
it's like a weird like sibling rivalry thing.
yeah.
Even though obviously we're
Which
not
again, I
siblings,
feel
but
like
I
is not
just have
healthy to
this.
dislike things that you see in yourself.
But I think that's
It's a lot.
okay. I'm just like so positive. I'm like it's
Positive about
fine. Yeah, like it's fine. I'm not a perfect person. There's many things I wish I didn't do, as Hoover Stank once said. I'm okay with my more negative aspects because I'm number 2 positivity.
Mm. I do not have that.
I'm so like just like really playing up to this now. No, yeah, I've
I
never.
think that does serve you really well. I think you are
It does serve me very well. I'm not
positive.
self-critical. Yeah, I'm really like I'm not a self-critical person really. Yeah, but there are things that are in my bottom ones that I wish like were a bit higher, like consistency 30, discipline 28. You know, but these are things like I don't really agree with. I'm very disciplined. I show up to things every day. I show up to work every day, so I get
Like
out
a
of
little
bed.
bit late every day.
I mean, a little bit, yeah. Okay, maybe not. I'm not time disciplined, but I'm not show up disciplined either.
I say that's
I'm
actually
disciplined
that's
in some
everyone does
ways.
that. Everyone goes to work every day.
I know.
That's how you save to keep the job.
Yeah, but I was gonna say like I show up. At least I show up to things, but I don't show up to things. I am the biggest flake. So
Yeah.
yeah, right. It's got me there. It's got me there. My 10th one is activator, and that's a fun one.
Yeah, and that feels
Like
like it very
wanting
much
to,
describes you.
yes, like having an idea and then just being like, yep, let's go. And I think that's I really like that. I like to see that that's in my top 10 because I feel like that feels motivating to me to be like, yeah, I am that person. I am somebody who can just have an idea and run with it to the end. But this is talking about like the negative aspects of the things is that developer and what was the other one? Well, developer and positivity really, and maybe futuristic. The negative aspects of those is that I'm so positive and I'm so like excited to help other people and stuff, is that I would do that to death. Like I would I would never give up. I never give up, even though other people would be like, oh, this isn't quite working. I'm just gonna cut it and move on. And like that's probably very telling of my author career so far. Like until we started doing the podcast and like meeting up and doing mastermind, I was still like beating a dead horse with my publishing career.
Yeah, and
Because
like
I was
not changing anything with it, just be like, this will work. I'm just gonna keep doing it.
This is the way that I'm doing it, so this is the way it's done. And it was only through you being like, well, do you have to complete that series? Can you not just move on and like pick a genre? And then I needed you to point out that I was like holding on to something too tightly. And that really helped me because I will just, if I think that I'm doing something good, I'll keep going forever and ever and ever. I mean, I gave up eating sweets because I once ate sweets.
This is the weirdest thing about you.
This is the stupidest thing. Yeah, I once had too many sweets in a day, and it was so awful. We ate so many sweets in my old job, and we just.
I think of how many sweets there could be. I think I'd be in the chocolate factory being like, is there any more? Is there a takeaway bag?
No, not chocolate though. Chocolate's different. You could eat chocolate all day. This is like Haribo. It was like every kind of like really sweet that you could think of. Like all bags of Haribo, Tangfastics, all of those sorts of things, like jelly sweets. And we ate them all day and I felt so sick. I said, I'm never going to eat sweets again. And that was maybe 20 years ago. I've never eaten sweets since.
I cannot do that.
That's the thing, like that. I see that as being positive, but actually it's not, because I'm just punishing myself now because I've set myself this challenge of never eating sweets again.
But it's like you're saying, like you have these streaks, like you have a Duolingo streak, you have a word streak, and that you can get too stuck on like, I do this, so I'm going to keep doing this.
Yeah, I did that with yoga for a long time. I did like yoga every day for 3 years. And because I said to myself, I'm going to do yoga every day for a year. And after a year, I was like, well, I've done it every day for a year, so I guess I'll continue for the rest of time. And then after 3 years, I forgot why I was even doing it. And so I stopped and I haven't done it since. Not properly. I haven't I've been to classes and stuff, but I haven't continued my practice whatsoever because I just like ruined it for myself. So I do know, like I can see the negative parts of those traits as well. And when I was watching the videos and reading through like my breakdown when I put it into Gemini, it was very like it was really holding a mirror up and like showing me these things now, because I'm not somebody that looks at myself and tries to find anything negative, if you can even imagine. I know like that's very, very difficult for you to think, but I don't look at myself and try and pick myself apart. I'm just like happily la-la-laing through life.
I think like you're a good balance to me is like I really think I can just like get really stuck in these things, like even like the supposed positive strengths, like the achiever and the way that I use futuristic, like both of them are like set yourself enormous goals and then just hate yourself if you don't do it. Hate yourself if you're like falling short and not doing it straight away. And so just being able to talk through it with someone who has like a very different attitude to it really forces me to not see what I think as being like objectively true. Even if I come away at the end of it being like, I'm still gonna do it the way I thought I was gonna do it, I get the chance to reflect and be like, well, somebody sensible and who I know is like me but different, has thought about it a different way. Maybe I could just take a break. Maybe I could take some time off, or work on my mindset for a while rather than just keep writing and like flogging a dead horse.
Yeah, maybe we should put both of our top fives into Gemini and say how do these two top fives work together? Like how do they help each other? How do they hinder?
What other strengths do we need to make like our perfect Power Ranger team? Like what are we?
Oh, power up your crystals.
Yeah.
So
I think maybe
love Power Rangers.
Or maybe like Captain Planet team. Like when we know, I think we've got each like a set of strengths.
Maybe we need to get rings.
Like ring pop rings.
Yeah.
Again, another glowingly relevant reference for everybody. Hopefully we'll watch Captain Planet as kids.
I'm just such a 90s child.
Yeah. He's a hero.
Like yes, he is a hero, and he's going to take pollution down to zero. Where is he? Oh, Captain Planet, we need you now more than ever.
Yeah. I wonder what his strengths are. But yeah, I find it just very useful and informative in a way that I think other personality tests, they're not quite as, because you don't get everything in a rank. You're not like looking at both the top and the bottom, and thinking, oh, in the middle I've kind of got this. And it's also useful. I think Becca talks a lot about like all the strengths are there. Like, they're not, you don't have any of them, but there are some where
Yes.
it is not worth you putting in the time to work on them, because you could spend, all your energy trying to improve whatever your bottom strength is to get to like middling rank. So like really, if you've got something there, like say positivity, right, which is quite far down for me. Like I could really, really spend a year focusing on positivity, and I could, I could improve my positivity. I could bring that more to the forefront of personality. But why? When I could say like, I'm going to spend that energy, I'm going to divide between my top 5 strengths, and like really just work on those things. So like, I know that I'm someone who needs a lot of input and to learn a lot and to output that. So I should do things like, um, you know, do something more complex in terms of my mysteries, or like pull out the things that I'm doing in my mysteries. I know like if anyone's on like Benedict Brown's newsletter, he puts in so much interesting historical detail in his newsletters, and people really love it because he writes historical mysteries. I was like, I should be doing more things like that, and take advantage of the stuff that's like just in my head, and put it out there and be more out loud about it. And the same for futuristic. Like I could lean into that more and just do more manifesting. I'm not sure. I think I may be at my limit with manifesting.
Stop manifesting for me instead. Like, just put your powers over here.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I've like, it's definitely made me think about I like things that I didn't realize about myself. The fact that I'm writing young adult because I like to assess characters and like write character arcs, and like I'm forever writing the longest act 2s you've ever seen, because I love like diving into somebody's, like building up somebody's character and showing all the different traits before they get to the like the climax, or like the point of tension. And it's funny, I was watching one of the videos about, I can't remember which of the strengths it was, but somebody was talking about one of my top 5s and saying they really struggle with the pinch point, like the stress point of the story, because they love writing all the other stuff, and they get to that bit and they're like, oh, it's not really that dramatic. So what they started doing was writing the dramatic scene at the start, and basically they changed the structure of how they wrote to fit the fact that they are much better at writing a falling story than like always forever climbing to reach the point, which is definitely like my biggest struggle. Is I love writing so much before you get to like the stressor, like that real I can't think of the words of the stuff, but the like act 4, basically like I'm so bad at act 4 that I just really rush it, and I know that about myself. But now that I've heard somebody else say it, I'm like, oh yeah, that's true. I could just do like change the structure of my stories to kind of like battle that, and then put way more into like discovering character traits more. And after reading the Hawthorne and the
the Inheritance Games.
Yeah, the Heritage Games, and also the Naturals.
Yeah.
I'm
Both
really
by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Yeah.
I'm really super interested in Jennifer Lynn Barnes's psychology of writing.
I know me, I'm obsessed.
And yeah, and I know you're obsessed, and like we've been talking about this a lot, and I think like I'd love to do some sort of character psychology thing where I really try and figure more out about that, and how I can make my characters really a lot more 3D, rather than just like scraping the top of things like I feel like I'm doing.
Yeah. And I think sort of on a tangential point, like knowing your strengths makes you listen and like be aware of things differently. So like say you'd heard somebody talking about how they plan their stories and kind of, talking about how he struggled with that pinch point, and you might think, yeah, that's me because of this thing. I listened to another Becca Syme episode where she's talking about the face of business, and it's really good. I'll link to it in the show notes. Let me just make a note. Hang on. Business phases. Yes. So in that, she talks about there being 5 business phases for North business, and generally the episode is fantastic. So do listen to the whole thing. I've listened to it twice, and I'm going to listen to it again at least once more. But really specific, the part that was fascinating to me was just talking about how there's 5 phases, and it's almost like we think about our 5 acts. Like there's like I'm just speculating and I'm figuring stuff out. I don't know what I'm doing, and then you know what you're doing and you're trying to do it, and but you're not quite having financial success from it, but you're making all the steps go somewhere. Then you get some financial success, and then you build it enough to need other people, and then you are kind of maybe having to up and down, like change the different aspects of your business. I'm summarizing it poorly, but like listen to the episode. But in that, she was saying often authors in like step 4 and 5, they complain that they don't get to learn anymore because there's not many authors who are at their stages, and they often wish they were in steps 1 and 2. And I was like, that made me really think that actually I want to make sure my futuristic strength is not making me not appreciate steps 1 and 2, because I love learning and I will be so annoyed. And in fact, I think that I can really see myself having to fundamentally very much change my business when I'm past the stage of learning, because part of what I'm not loving about my day job right now is like I have just learned everything. Like there's nothing more for me to learn in the size of the business that it is now. And when I've kind of mastered enough parts of my self-publishing business, I will be bored and I will be annoyed at all the things that I'm doing now that I find like difficult and interesting. I will find them simple and boring, and actually I don't relish that. So I need to figure out ways in which to make my business kind of keep being interesting. Otherwise I will like drop it all and become a lawyer at some point, which I don't really want to do. I want to make sure it works for me in the long term.
Well, at that point, you can just learn how to farm the land that we buy together.
Yeah, I'll become an alpaca farmer.
Yeah, you can be the alpaca farmer, and you can figure out how to get the best alpacas in the whole of the country.
Oh, it'd be such good alpacas. Yeah. I'd become obsessed with like alpaca, like wool weaving. I would stop writing. Unless I can figure out a way to kind of keep making my author business interesting, which I would guess there's probably a lot of people who have like low intellection in their top 5. And that is why there's so many different like paths you can take, like people jumping into like Kickstarter and translation and things. You know, there are many businesses where people are not so adventurous. You know, you look at cake shops and mostly they're just like making cakes and selling cakes. They're not thinking like, what if we made the world's biggest cake and tried to make like a gigantic cake that everyone takes a bite out of, and you pay per bite. Like, I'm not saying it's a good idea. I'm just saying, like, no one is.
But I really want cake. No one's trying to reinvent cake.
Whereas there's like all the time people are trying to reinvent the publishing business, like direct sales, using AI for automation. Everyone is very much like on top of things all the time, and I want to make sure I'm relatively risk averse, so sometimes I'm not always jumping into like the new thing. So I want to kind of balance that with like making sure I'm always learning things and not getting so comfortable I'll be bored.
Yeah, I think that we both have a lot of things to look at, but I do feel like we're both 2 parts of one whole human being who is good at everything. So I'm
2 parts of a 4-part Captain Planet team. Let's not rule that out.
Okay, yeah. Like there could be 2 more people who we need.
One of those 5. We need the love at the end. Yeah.
Oh yeah, whatever.
Or heart. Yeah.
Heart. Yes. Okay. I think that we probably could, because we could talk about this for literal hours, and I can see we're nearing the hour mark, so we really need to cap it here. But everybody else should go and do their Clifton Strengths, and then jump into the Discord and tell us what they are, and then maybe you can join our exclusive group if you can manage to fill the gaps.
If you've got
next week we are talking about increasing read through. Ooh, do you have any thoughts about this?
Yes, I need to do it. That is my thought. I think the problem with me is a lot of increasing read through is like fiddling around with your back matter, which is laborious, and I don't want to do it. So yes, it'll be good to have a very focused conversation on like what we and also I think it's not that laborious. I just in my head have built it up to this tedious thing that I don't want to do. So yes, I've tried a newish thing recently where I've put my first like crossover characters in to a story. I don't like crossovers generally, like as a reader or a writer, because I have this sense that like people belong in their own story. I don't even like spin-offs. Like I don't like Angel, even though I like Buffy. I'm like, no, you just stay in the lane that you came in. I know.
As somebody who watches every iteration of a show and like,
no,
how dare you? I love expanded worlds. I love all of that stuff. You're crazy.
I know. So I tried it anyway, but it was like the smallest possible thing. So yes, things like crossovers, things like back matter. I think I need to be more deliberate about those and make more changes. What about you?
Yeah, same. I had updated some of my books to have like make sure that the links in the back were right, and like it was encouraging people to read through to the next story. Don't forget to join my mailing list, all that stuff. But I haven't yet updated those files, or not all of them. So it's just like admin stuff for me, and it's always like it's the admin that I put off because I think, well, like, you know, if people are reading on Kindle, they're gonna see that there's a next book, and if they buy the paperback, they'll get an email to say, don't forget the rest of the series. So I kind of just leave it to chance rather than like encouraging a nice flow through. So yeah,
But I
it's
mentioned a
just
few
like
weeks ago that I
admin.
wanted to have a better quarterly goals section, and I've started making one. I mean, I used AI to help me because it was very tedious. So I've made one, and it's a big, enormous document with full of really useful numbers and like details, and not just this sort of amorphous, like, maybe I'll try this thing. So it's great. And in it are things like increase read through by a certain percentage. And like, there's things you can try, right? Like I've previously put in my first chapters, and I don't do that anymore. Should I try that? So like, I think I want to have a really good list of things to try and just tick off, like, I've tried this for this month. It's improved read through by this amount. I'm going to try something else this month.
Can I just say, as a weird aside to that, I don't like it when there's a first chapter in the back of the
No,
book
I
for the
don't, but
next
some
book.
people do.
Yeah,
So
I don't read it.
I'm not
I always
everyone.
think, oh,
No.
spoiler! Like, I don't want to read this out of sync. Like, I need to read it for, like, I need it to be in its entirety. I can't have a spoiler inside the book. But that's just me. You're right. Like, other people do like it, and I need to stop just pandering to myself.
Or at least trial it. Yeah, I want to get better at trialing things like this. So yes, I think we need to have that chat to have a strong word with ourselves. This is where we need at least our third Captain Planet team member is someone who's good at this stuff.
Yes, like follow through.
Yeah. Who likes
Planning
tedium?
and follow
Do you
through.
enjoy
Yes,
tedium?
so yes, we need like deliberative, discipline, responsibility. Like, these are
Whoa.
all things that we need to
Yeah,
have.
where is that person?
Please come at us, because they are my very lowest ones.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you very much for listening. Yes, we'll be back next week, and don't forget to join us in Discord, where we're always chatting, sharing tips and resources, and asking stupid questions that are never stupid questions. And you can also, if you like listening to us, donate to our coffee. You can buy us 1 coffee, 2 coffees, or 2 coffees and a cake.
It's my ideal one. That's my favorite.
Yeah, like, and it's not like an actual coffee and a cake. It's just, you know, you could buy us that. But yeah, it would be nice if you wanted to donate. It could be one-off, it could be monthly, whatever. And that's basically it. Yeah, until next time. See you later.
Bye.
You've been listening to Pen to Paycheck Authors.
Stay tuned for our next episode, and don't forget to subscribe to learn how to write your way to financial success.